Hey, Merry Christmas, Barb.
Yes, same to you.
So you're going to show us how to do one of the Advent projects today.
Yeah.
Which one is this one?
Well, this is a little cozy that we designed for these little scissors. So everybody would have got a little pair of scissors in their Advent box, these little stork ones.
Nice.
Yeah, they're cute.
Yes.
And so I thought, wouldn't it be fun to do a little cozy for them? So this is kind of what it looks like. It's called the Peace Dove Scissor Cozy. And the Peace Dove is sort of a bit of a theme that we've had going in the Advent box.
Right.
This is just designed to hold your scissors so that they don't, poke out in your project bag and just keep them protected. Yeah.
Okay.
So here's how we're going to do that.
Okay.
You ready?
Oh, we're ready.
All right. So here's how we're going to begin. In your package, you would have gotten a template. I've taken and cut mine already, but it looks like a little piece of paper like this. This is the pattern. And you'll have 2 pieces of felt. I've got a red one and a white one, but you'll have 2 different colors. You've already got your scissors, and you'll have some embroidery thread, and you'll have a needle. Okay, what did I do with mine? Here it is. Okay, these are special needles that we found, and they're nice because they've got a nice big eye, and they're really sharp. So what I did, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to cut out your pattern. So see, I cut out the little bird shape, I cut out the eye and the wing, following this template. This is the cozy back and the cozy front. And what you're going to do is just cut out these pieces. I'll just show you. I'll cut out the front and the back. I should have had these all done beforehand, but then I wouldn't have been able to show you the pattern page. Not that that matters, but so these are the pieces. You're going to cut out the bird and cut out the wing and the eye.
Go ahead and do that, Barb. Yeah.
Can you the fast forward this later? It doesn't matter, if you're kind of like, you don't have to be exactly right with it, but you can cut on the line or just on the outside of the line. There's my little bird. And then here's his wing. If you wanted, you could have, some stars or a moon or a different, a little tree branch maybe the bird could be sitting on, or maybe you want to make some legs.
I suppose you could just freehand cut out the eye.
You could, for sure. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay these pieces down on your piece of felt. I like to turn it on its side like this because I think that these will both fit. So essentially you've got enough felt here to do 2 cozies. So you can have one here, your bird, and your wing and your eye. Not going to be able to pick that up. There we go. Like that. And then you can do the same thing over here. And if you do that, you'll have enough for 2 cozies. Okay, so once you have your pattern pieces cut out, you're going to lay them on your felt, and you can either pin them down if you want, or you can actually just kind of hold them in place. The back especially is big enough that you can just hold it down while you're trimming around it with your scissors. Like that, like so. I'm not going to actually cut this one because we're going to use it for a kit. But you're going to trace all the way around. Here is another option with a pen. So you could take like a pen like a Sharpie and trace all the way around your pattern piece and then cut it out. But the idea is to have 2 fronts, 2 backs, 2 birds, 2 wings, and 2 eyes. You should have lots. And you're going to do the same thing over here. Then you want to sew your bird or your cozy together. So here's how we're going to do that. So what I've done is I've taken my metallic embroidery floss, and I cut off a piece about 18 inches long, and then I pulled it apart. This floss actually has 12 strands inside here. If you count them, it looks like there's 6, and then each one of the 6 splits in 2, so there's actually 12. The eye and the wing have to go on first. So before you put your bird on, you're going to attach the eye and the wing. I did them the same way, just using a running stitch. And this is just a little cross, so I just came with my embroidery thread up, down, like I was sewing on a button, and then came from the other side, so it made a little cross. It's hard to see, but there is actually a little X there. You can use anything you want. I've seen some done with star shapes, where like a big X. You could do running stitch, whatever you like, just so it gets held down. You could even glue it down. You know, there's nothing saying that you have to use the embroidery floss. So use your imagination. And I threaded 2 strands, 2 full strands, which is actually 4 strands, through my needle. And that's what I used to sew on my bird. So you're going to take your bird, put it on top of your cozy front, and you're going to sew through it. I used running stitches, and to begin with, what you're going to do is take and put a knot in at the end of your floss, just so it doesn't come through. You're going to knot it, and then you're going to pick up your bird, and you can't, oh, you can see right here where my knot is on the inside of the work. You put your knot through, you come up, and then you start doing running stitch. Come back down in and just run your stitches along the outside edge of the bird until you're back to the beginning. And you can see it just gets tacked down very neatly. Okay, so our next step is to sew the front of the cozy to the back of the cozy, and I chose to use blanket stitch. You can see how I started it along this edge. I like it because I think it's a nice decorative stitch, and I'm hoping that I can do it close enough together so that there won't be any holes or spaces at the bottom. I don't want my scissors to, fall through the bottom. So here's how we're going to do that. We're going to take our needle and put 2 strands. These are 2 kind of full strands of embroidery floss. There are actually 4. Each one of these has 2 little strands in it, so there's 4 altogether. But you can use as many or as few as you want. If you use less, it's just going to be a finer stitch, and if you use more, it's going to be thicker. So what I'm going to do is tie a knot in the end, just like that, and I'll just trim it off. Okay, and then I'm going to come on the inside up through my work. I've got my 2 edges held together. There's the knot. And now I'm going to come right around and come up again in the very same spot if I can, or close to it. So you can see, there we go. I'm going to make a loop, and I'm just going to leave it a little bit loose, and then bring with my needle, I'm going to bring it through this loop. Like that, and form a little knot right there. Okay, now I'm going to come over and do the same thing. I'm going to do another one right here. Make a loop, and with my needle I'm going to come through the loop. and pull tight. Just like that. And it creates this little running thread along the edge. Just going to make it a little bit. There. And now we're going to keep on going. Here's my next stitch. Make the loop and come through. And again. Just like that. So keep doing that all the way till you get down to the bottom. And I'm actually coming through my loop at the same time. I don't know if you noticed that. I just kind of sped up the motion a little bit. I'm making the loop and coming through it at the same time. Yeah. So that's it. You're just going to keep on going till you get down to here, and then I'm going to come along the bottom. I think I might, with my scissors, just even this up a little bit. For some reason, mine was a little bit longer on the back side than on the front. Yeah. And, you know, that's about it. Once you get it all sewn together, then you can put your scissors inside and you have yourself a little scissor cozy.
Beautiful.
Create a star stitch. I'm just going to show you how to do that one. So I'm going to thread this. I'm folding it over in half so that it's a little bit thicker. And man, this is hard to see, but I'm going to go by feeling. And there, the threads pop through. Now I'm going to pull it and bring it down just like that. I'm going to tie a little knot in the end. Okay, and then I'm just going to do a little few stars here on the bottom of the front of the scissor cozy. So to do the star, you're just going to put your floss in from the underside, and there the knot's holding it. I like to, I've done a few star stitches on the eye of the bird, and I think it looks kind of nice. But they also look really pretty on the face of the cozy. So you're just going to come up and go back down in about ½ an inch away. Poke your needle through to the underside, and then come up on an angle like that. Come through, and you've got kind of a straight line on the top of your work. Now we're going to come over this way. So I want it to form an X or a cross. So I'm just going to lay it where I want it to be and go in. And then I'm going to come up over in between those two arms of the X, like that. Then I'm going to come back down here. Can you see what's happening? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go through here and up on this side. And now I want to come back over here. So these are super easy to make, and they're a whole lot of fun.
Nice.
There. So there's a little star. So you can make a star here, 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 all over the place. Embellish and make it look fun. You can also do running stitch along this side and up on here. Just have lots of fun embellishing. You know, you might have an embroidery book at home too with different stitches in it, or you can Google them. There's just all sorts of YouTube videos where you can find different embellishing stitch patterns. You've got lots and lots of floss in the package that we've given you. So have some fun and make some different embroidery designs. Post them on Instagram. We'd love to see what you've come up with. That's it for now. Hope you have a lot of fun with this project.